What is Sharia law? Sharia, first thing, Sharia law doesn't make sense because it means law. It's like when they go order a chai tea. Chai means tea, so chai tea, I want a tea. You know, Sharia, shara'a, in the Arabic language means to legislate. So Sharia means laws. In Islam we have laws. Like, for example, if you kill somebody in certain states in America, you'll get electrocuted, right? Certain states don't have the death penalty. Certain states you'll do 7 years, some certain do something else. So every government, every place has its own laws. Islam has its own laws. And Sharia laws are a part of those, what people call Sharia law, are the laws found in the Quran. So what does the Quran teach us? The Quran teaches us that you cannot convict somebody without proper due process. And that means you need to have witnesses, eyewitnesses. Because what happens is, sometimes we have, in America or in other societies, we have a case, and we have no eyewitnesses. But because of some circumstances, or maybe some skin color issues, whatever, we convict them. And then 30 years later, some DNA evidence comes out. We're like, oh, sorry for wasting 40 years of your life. Here's a handshake. We'll put you on the news for 10 seconds. So that sucks, right? So in Sharia law, you can't have that. You have to have witnesses. How many witnesses for what crime? There's a distinction. In Sharia law, you don't have prisons. Okay? Now think about this, right? In America, we have the largest prison population of the world. Right? Google it. It's insane. What happens, let's say, what was your name again? I'm sorry. Michael, let's say you're going to your car, and I'm not insinuating you drink, but let's say you had a couple of beers, and you get to the wrong car, right? And you're like trying to get into it. Police come, they think you're breaking and entering, they take you to jail, right? Now, you may not have done it. It was a mistake. But you go to jail. And now in jail, there are gangs. I don't know if you don't know it, Google it. There's the MA, there are gangs, prison gangs. Yes. There is the white Aryan Brotherhood, there is the Black Guerrilla Family. I know this better than I should. Anyway, so a lot of YouTube videos, right? So they're gangs, and they go by race. So you go in, and you're not racist at all. But the white guys come up to you, and they said, you're going to be Aryan Brotherhood, you're from the brand now, right? And you're like, I don't want to do that. They're like, well, we could rape you. And you're like, all right, next, never mind. Clover tattoo coming up. So how does that reform you? And then what happens is the prison gang tells you, you know what, you got to kill this guy. Why? Because we got a drug thing or a race thing. You're like, I don't want to kill the guy. I like the guy. Got to kill him. Now you're in prison. Now you just killed a man. You went in for a mistake, and now you're a murderer. Right? You got to beat up this guy. You got to do this. You got to do that. And this is reality. This is not fiction. Look it up. Right? So how does that system benefit society? You lock somebody up for 70 years or 60 years. And us as the taxpayers of America are paying 70, 80, 90,000 a year to keep them there. That does society no benefits. What does Islam teach? For example, you commit a crime, have such a punishment that they won't do it. Right? If you knew that you were going to rob somebody, you pull a gun, you put it to their head, you take their car, and your hand was going to get chopped, would you do it? Hell no. Even if they were getting in the wrong car, I'd be like, hey man, go ahead, bro. I like to have two hands. I got a box or something, right? So it's such a punishment that nobody goes through the crime. But if you think, you know what, I'll get a good lawyer, Johnny Cochran, I can kill somebody and get away with it. You're going to take that chance, right? So this is the difference between Sharia and other laws. Sharia law says, look, if you're going to steal because you're starving, there's no punishment. If you're going to steal and you're a little child who doesn't know better, we're not going to try you as an adult and put you in, no punishment. If you're insane, you have mental issues, you didn't know what you were doing, no punishment. But if you steal a small amount, no punishment. But if you're of sane mind, you got no issues, and you're not starving, you're not poor, you got money, and you're grown, you know what you're doing, but you're going to rob somebody anyway, you're going to take somebody else's property, we're going to cut your hand. And then you don't have to cut hands because people are like, I'm not going there, right? If you rape somebody and you're going to get a few years and get out, unfortunately, you have blue lights here for a reason. Why? Because people take that chance. But if you know that you pull a knife and you rape somebody, you're going to get your head cut off, you're like, I'm cool. I'm going to go home, watch a Netflix movie, right? So this tells you Sharia puts such laws that they stop people from going there. And it puts in checks and balances to make sure that innocent never get punished. That's Sharia law. Instead of having prisons, you punish. Somebody goes and beats somebody up, you tell them, look, you got to pay the person whatever damages you did, you're good. If not, you're going to get whipped or whatever, you're good, you're done. Go back to society, live your life. Why am I going to put you 10 years sitting in a shoe, secured housing unit, it's not a shoe, and you're going to sit there, waste your life. You're not going to learn anything good. You're going to join gangs and learn how to put things in your, well, never mind. So, this is the Sharia method of law.